Make sure you subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. And to never miss another lecture from Miracle, hit the bell icon to get regular updates on English literature.
Hello and welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I'm Professor Abha Sharma, and as you all know that I'm making a video series on the epical poem of TS Eliot, The Wasteland. I've made videos on the mythological background and the burial of the dead. This may be the last video of part 1, the burial of the dead.
Unreal city, under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet. Flowed up the hill and down King William Street, to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9. There I saw one I knew and stopped him, crying, "Stetson, you who were with me in the ships at Miley, that corpse you planted last year in your garden, has it begun to sprout? Will it bloom this year? Or has a sudden frost disturbed its bed? Oh, keep the dog far hence that's friend to men, or with his nails he'll dig it up again."
Now we'll begin from the phrase unreal city. What do you mean by unreal city? City which is artificial. And he's calling all the metro cities as artificial. If we begin from Athens, Alexandria, London, New York, Tokyo, Paris, and then Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. The cities which are too much developed, the cities which are full of materialistic life, the cities which have evolved so much down the years, one by one. So these cities, they have become more mechanical. Too much of evolvement, too much of science, too much of industries, and too much of chaos, too much of dirt, too much of brown fog, too much of alienation, too much of spiritual emptiness. So he talks about London in these lines, that it is the most unreal city. It also says that people have lost the human compassion. They are so selfish that they do not care about anything else but themselves. So that's why he's mentioned unreal city, as if we are the robots just going from here and there and our life being so mechanical. Under the brown fog of a winter dawn, brown fog because of so much of traffic, so much of automobiles, and the smoke coming out of them is making the sky brown, and that too in the winter. The fog in winter is brown, that you can understand how polluted the city is. The phrase unreal city is borrowed from Charles Baudelaire's French poem, The Seven Old Men. And from there he quotes, "The swarming city, the city of dreams. In the broad daylight, the spectre stops the passerby." That means this city is so magnificent that the passerby cannot but stop and show the amazement things around him. If we go in a big city, we are amazed to see such huge buildings, such architectural structures. People, their dress sense, the shops, the markets, all amuse us so much. Therefore, he's saying all these unreal cities, and especially London, anybody passing through the streets would stop and look at the church, Big Ben and other things. There are so many things to look at. He says that these cities are so crowded. People from far off places, they come and settle down in the metro cities. Now he takes us to the London Bridge. And he says he could witness so many people there, so many vehicles, all just in speed, going here and there with so much of chaos that it takes you the thought of Dante from Inferno that death had undone so many. I had never thought that death has spared so many human beings. It is said that it takes away the life abruptly of so many living beings. But then seeing the people on the bridge and in the streets, in the metro cities, it gives you the feeling that death has spared so many lives. This is a satire, and it has been borrowed from Dante, Dante's Inferno. In his Inferno, he has said, "So long a train of people that I should have never believed death had undone so many." It's a satire. It is about the increasing population of the metro cities. Then he says sighs are so short and infrequent, and all the eyes are fixed to their own feet. Sighs are infrequent. You do feel sad, you do feel the pain, but for how long? For a very short period these days. When somebody is dead, you just have a sentence to say, "Oh, that was very sad." But then you continue with your life because you don't have time to pay your obituary also. So sighs have become very short and infrequent, and every man has fixed his eyes on his feet. That means that he is so selfish that he only worries about himself. He doesn't know what is happening in the surrounding area. Who's living or who's dead, he is hardly bothered. So these unreal or the metro cities have got this type of life where man has evolved, has developed a lot, but has become alien to nature and alien to his own race. He says that all this crowd is going up the hill and then to the King William Street, that is a street's name in London, and then to St. Mary Woolnoth Church, which nowadays only keep the account of the time. That means whenever the bell tolls, the people, they correct their watches. That means that they get the awareness of what clock is it. So he says this church tolls at the dead hour, that is 9 o'clock. Now there are two connotations of this dead hour. One is Christ was crucified at 9. So it is called the dead hour. The weather became very cloudy and dark when Christ was crucified. So it denotes the dead hour of Christ. The second connotation is the people have to reach their office before 9. That this is the closing time to reach to your offices, and then the man will be dead for several hours till evening. He will be on his chair, desk and chair, working. So he will be cut off from the world, so he will be dead. While going towards the office buildings or to work, because 9 is also the hour of the workers, they rush up to their sites and they commence their work till evening. So they are also dead for their own personal life or for their surroundings. So when they are all rushing towards their work, the protagonist may be Tiresias, who was there in the past and still there in the present. So he notices a man whom he can recognize, and he calls him by his name Stetson. Stetson is an old name of a cap manufacturer. He inquires that is he the same man who was with him in the Battle of Mylae, which was fought in 260 BC between Roman and Carthage. So Mylae was an ancient city in the north coast of Sicily. He also inquires that the corpse which he buried last year, has it begun to sprout, or the sudden frost has destroyed it? Again, there is a myth attached to it and the modern concept. The myth is taken from the festival of sowing. The myth is that the priest used to make the effigies of Ulysses out of earth and corn, and they used to bury, and then they used to take it out and the corn used to sprout. The other meaning can be like this: the corpse, the dead body which was buried, which died for a reason, was it successful to fulfill that reason? And the nature which helps us to grow the plants, it sometimes goes wrong because of the sudden frosts or sudden heat or too much of rainfall. That means nature and man are sometimes alien to each other and are not compatible enough. Then he says, keep the dog far hence, it is friend to men. This he had taken from John Webster's play The White Devil, and there it is written, keep the wolf far hence. So this dog is a connotation for the conscience. If you are guilty, do not let your conscience know it. Otherwise, it will spoil your mood and it will make you depressed. So keep this dog away from you. Otherwise, it will dig all the corpses you have planted, all the bad doings which you have done till date. Your conscience will not allow you then to live in peace. Also, the image of the dog is taken from Old Testament. It is mixed up with the nature of the dog and man and their relationship. So this way, he gives you different connotations from the references taken from the past writers. How deeply has Eliot studied all the texts of the past, and how intelligibly he connects his poem, his phrases to the modern world. So we have finished the first part, in which Eliot has stated the spiritual emptiness in the civilization. We have lost all the morals and the values of the past. The cities have become mechanical, too much materialistic, too much selfish, and each man now concentrates on his selfish interests without being bothered or without giving any compassion to the fellow beings. So, our first part of the wasteland, the burial of the dead, ends here. If you like my effort, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and also explore our website www.miraclewebstore.com. Till I post my next video, keep in touch, take care, bye-bye.